Imagine you're on a small plane with your friends, headed to a match you've been looking forward to for months. The air is filled with excitement, laughter, and hope. Everything is perfect until the moment everything changes. A sudden roar from the engine turns into panic, and in an instant, the plane plunges into the snowy peaks of the Andes Mountains. No help, no food, just freezing cold in the looming shadow of death. What you're about to hear isn't a fictional story. It's the gripping, real-life account of a disaster that shook the world in 1972. On the 13th of October, 1972, a Uruguayan Air Force Fairchild FH-227D, carrying 45 passengers, crashed into the remote Andes Mountains at an altitude of 3,600 meters. On board were members of the Old Christians rugby team, along with friends and family. As the plane was flying through a violent snowstorm, it lost control and collided with a mountainside. The crash was brutal, and 12 people died instantly, including the pilot. The survivors were left to cope with severe injuries and a harrowing environment, where temperatures plummeted to -30 degrees, and the chances of survival seemed almost non-existent. After the crash, chaos erupted. The survivors quickly realized that the plane's wreckage was their only shelter from the elements. They found no immediate signs of help, and what little food they had, some chocolate, a bottle of wine, and a handful of biscuits, was quickly rationed. They were stuck, miles away from civilization, with no idea when help would arrive. The first few days were spent trying to keep spirits up, tending to the injured, and praying for rescue. But as the days dragged on and no one came, hope began to fade. They had no communication devices, and the weather conditions were so bad that no search parties could reach them. As the days turned into a week, their food supply dwindled. The survivors began to face a horrific dilemma. With no help on the way and no other options, they were forced to confront a life or death choice. Would they resort to eating the bodies of their deceased friends to survive? This was a decision that no one should ever have to make. Some were deeply disturbed by the thought of cannibalism, rejecting the idea due to religious beliefs, disgust, and the overwhelming guilt it caused. But hunger is a powerful force, and as the days passed, their bodies weakened and the cold gnawed at their bones. Reluctantly, they chose survival, the first step in a horrific struggle that would last for more than 2 months. With the decision made, the survivors faced another obstacle, keeping their minds sharp and their bodies alive in the face of exhaustion and trauma. Some began to question their morality, their faith, and whether surviving at such a cost was truly worth it. But there was no going back. Each day was a fight for survival, as the group scavenged whatever they could from the wreckage and learned to adapt to their grim reality. The harsh weather, the constant threat of avalanches, and the relentless cold took their toll. But it was the human will to live that kept them going. Despite everything, some of them even managed to find moments of humor, camaraderie, and even hope in the most unlikely of places. As the weeks went by and their strength faded, 2 survivors, Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, made the most difficult decision of all. Realizing that the group had no chance of survival without help, they set out on a daring journey across the mountain range to find civilization. With only the barest of supplies and no suitable footwear for the icy terrain, they began their trek on the 12th of December, 1972. The journey was grueling and perilous. The 2 men were physically shattered, barely able to walk, yet they pressed on. With every step, they faced freezing temperatures, the risk of avalanches, and the constant fear that they might never make it. After 10 days of nearly unimaginable hardship, Nando and Roberto finally came across a rancher in the remote Chilean mountains. Barefoot and emaciated, they pleaded for help. The rancher, initially skeptical, eventually believed their story and contacted authorities. The rescue operation began, and on the 22nd of December 1972, after 72 long days in the unforgiving snow, 16 survivors were saved. But for those who made it, the journey didn't end with their rescue. The mental and emotional scars of their ordeal would stay with them for the rest of their lives. The survivors of the Andes crash have carried the weight of their traumatic experiences ever since. Many struggled with guilt, survivor's remorse, and the haunting memories of the decisions they made to survive. In interviews, they described the lasting impact it had on their relationships, their view of life, and their understanding of human nature. But through it all, they found a deep appreciation for life. Many of the survivors remained close friends after the ordeal, and their bond grew even stronger as they helped each other heal. The story of the Andes survivors has become one of the most powerful examples of human resilience and determination. Books have been written about their experience, and their incredible story has been told in documentaries and movies. It continues to inspire people worldwide, proving that even in the most dire circumstances, the human spirit can endure. The survivors' strength in the face of unimaginable horror has served as a testament to what we are capable of when everything seems lost. This story is not just about survival. It's about the unbreakable will to live, the importance of hope, and the extraordinary bond between people in the face of unimaginable adversity. It's a reminder that life is fragile, and in the blink of an eye, everything can change. So ask yourself, what would you do if you were in their shoes? Would you make the same choices? Could you survive the unthinkable? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. And remember, life is precious, make every moment count. If this story moved you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible tales on Click to Fact. Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, take care and live each day to its fullest.